Hello and welcome to Stewie's Thoughts Podcast, episode 72. And in this episode, I'm going to give you my thoughts about life without a mobile phone. Even the thought of that sends shivers down people's spines. Imagine a life without a mobile phone, Imagine your kid not having a mobile phone. Hey, you kid, give me that mobile phone now. Nope. I don't care. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Give it to me now. Am I right? Am I right? You know what I mean? But before we get into it, I'm going to give you my thoughts about what I've been up to recently. Do we have any Wolverhampton Wanderers football fans here? I was in your neck of the woods yesterday. I was at Molyneux, which is the home stadium of Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. And I must say, first of all, the wedding fair was amazing, right? I got an on-the-spot booking. I'm going to talk about that in a little second. But this is my first time ever being inside a Premier League football stadium. I've been in Shrewsbury Town Football Stadium, right? And I don't even know what league they're in. I think it's like League 2 or something like that. I don't know. But this is my first time ever being inside of a Premier League football stadium. And what I will say is smaller than I thought. When you watch like football on TV, the stadium looks massive. The players look tiny. The actual field itself, the pitch, looks massive. But see, when you're actually there, it looks smaller. You know, like if I know you have a famous person on TV that you watched for so long, and then you actually see that person in real life, and you're like, smaller than I thought, or taller than it's like an optical illusion. So I went there and I had a little look. You couldn't go outside onto the actual pitch, but where I was like a massive glass window. I think it was like the booth or something. You know, like if somebody pays to go to a football match and then they pay for a booth type thing. It was like that, basically. But I could actually see outside where the pitch is. And I was like, this is smaller than I thought. Now, people were probably thinking, you know, if you really want to go inside a football stadium, all you have to do is go to the match. But it's different. When you see a pitch like that, that's empty, and there's nobody on it, my imagination goes a little bit. Like, so I'm like, you know, picturing myself as one of the players. Or picture myself as like the goalkeeper or something like that. The pitch itself, like I thought that when you watch a match, like if you're there, you're so far away you could barely see the actual pitch, like the actual players and stuff. But it's quite close. I don't know. I just thought it was bigger than I thought it would be. I have passed Anfield Stadium and, you know, Everton's ground and Man United's ground. I've always walked around them, but I've never actually been in them because I'm not much of a football fan, right? And I was quite surprised. I was like, this is like smaller than I thought, tinier. But I did a wedding for there, and I managed to get an on-the-spot booking from a guy who is a massive Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. And check this out. This guy has had 4 heart attacks. 4. I mean, one's bad enough. 4 of them? It was pretty interesting talking to him. So I was telling him about whenever I was out eating out all the time and I was eating unhealthy and all this kind of stuff, and I used to get like pains in my heart. Doesn't happen now. So one of the things I was always worried about was having a heart attack. And it was interesting for, you know, talking to him, and he was telling me about, like, I think it was 1 or 2 of them, he didn't even feel any pain. He felt like pins and needles and all this kind of stuff. But I thought that it would be like really painful. Like, you know, this shooting heart pain and, you know, because you see that, don't you? Whenever like you see it on TV or something, people like grab their heart and they go down. That's what I thought like a heart attack would be. Like really heart, like shooting pains or something like that. But he was saying like, no, it was like, like pins and needles and, you know, you go all funny and that kind of stuff. Like, but I was like, all right, okay. Because one of the things I've always been worried about was, how am I going to die? I don't think I'm going to die in an accident. I'm not going to get shot or anything, or stabbed, possibly, but who knows? But highly unlikely. So I always thought that I was going to die, or I am going to die of a natural cause, a heart attack or a stroke or something like that. That's how I think I'm going to die. I mean, Joy, huh? Hang on. Do you know how I'm going to die? Of natural causes. I mean, how depressing is this? So it was interesting to speak to somebody who's actually been there 4 times. And I'm not... maybe it's different for other people, I don't know, but I'm not that worried as I was before after speaking to him. Because I was thinking to myself, if I have a heart attack, it's going to be the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my whole life. But to know that I may have one and I'll get some pins and needles and maybe that'll be it, and then I'll die. You know? Every cloud has a silver lining, as they say. But who knows? I might get run over by a bus tomorrow. Or something like that. I don't know. But what was also interesting with this guy is he collects... I can't remember exactly what you call them, but they're basically like cards with like the football players. You know, like the stickers you used to get whenever you were a kid. And you used to collect the stickers and, you know, the player would be like that. And then it would have his name in the bottom. He collects them, but then he gets the actual players to sign them. And he said he's got like a collection. It's like a hobby he has. He's got a collection of, I think he said like 67,000 signatures. I was like, if you were to sell one of them for £1, you have £67,000 there. Selling £2 a pop. What's that? 134,000 pound. If my math is correct. But how mad is that? And I was asking him, I was like, do you have George Best? Yes. Do you have like Gaza and stuff like that? And he was like, yeah, he pretty much has them all. So what he does is he'll go to a match or something and then he'll see the players after the match or something like that, and then he'll get them to sign these little cards. But 67,000 of these cards he's got. Isn't that insane? What a collection that is. But I'm looking forward to doing his wedding. So him and his missus were really nice people. So it's I think it's for 2027, something like that. I can't remember. I still have to book it in. I'm going to do that after this episode. But it was nice to speak to him. And now I don't have to worry about dying of a heart attack. I'm going to be fine. It's gonna hurt, give me a little bit of pins and needles, and then after that, I'm dead. It's fine. It's fine. Moving on. I watched a video last night. Sorry about banging my elbow there. I watched a video last night, and I was quite shocked by this. I wouldn't say shocked as in like, oh my god. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Have you heard of that term, hillbilly? You know, like the American thing, the hillbillies. Turns out that's like an Ulster Scots thing. So this is for anybody from Northern Ireland, right? Or even Scotland. Apparently, hillbillies, right? The Billy is actually named after King Billy, King William of Orange. And then the hills is something to do with like the hills in Scotland. I have a video here, right? I'm going to play it. I still haven't worked out how to get the actual video coming up on the actual screen. I'm still working on that. I was going to download this video, and then YouTube was like, pay us $12.99 a month, and then you can download these videos. And I was just like, FBI, open up! That's not what I was like. I was like, no chance. You think I'm going to be paying you £13 a month to download videos? There's got to be a different way of doing it for free. All right. And I mean, $12.99 a month. That's what come up, and I was like, no, it's not. It's not $12.99 a month. It's £13. Stop trying to make it out like it's £12 a month. It's £13. See if you're dropping it by a penny. Don't try to manipulate me into buying something, right? If you're dropping something down by a penny, like gas stations, they do all this all the time. Oh, it's $24.99. No, that's expensive. £1.24 per litre of fuel. And you'll drive past and go, oh, go in there. It's £1.29 per litre. And I'm like, no, it's 129 I'm confusing myself. 129. Let's say it's 129, right? Oh, go in there. It's £1.29 a litre. And I'm like, no, it's £1.29.9. So it's £1.30. You see this all the time. Oh, get this Hoover that's only £199. £1.99. So it's £200. Stop trying to manipulate me, right? But anyway, I'll play this video. So listen to this.
Hillbillies are full-on nuts. I mean, one, look at that little kid. But hillbilly actually comes from a really far back, all the way back to the Scots, as they were moving over into the Ulster area, also known as Northern Ireland. These guys became a distinct group in and of themselves. And a lot of them wanted to get away from all those lords and stuff. And so they moved out to the United States, and a lot of them took up residence in Appalachia. They were more used to having this highlands.
Appalachia. I think that's somewhere in, like, America.
All these hills, these mountains. But the reason why they're called hillbillies is because of this guy, Billy, also known as William of Orange. You see, the Ulster Scots were Protestants. And so when they came over to Northern Ireland and caused all the Northern Ireland problems, they were Protestants that lived in the hills. And because they supported William of Orange, Billy, they were then called hillbillies. And it has continued on to this day. And it's pretty fitting that a lot of hillbillies, there are a lot of orange. This is for hunting purposes, but because William of Orange, right? They continue that tradition on. This is also why the color that you're going to see a lot more in Northern Ireland is going to be orange, whereas the rest of Ireland is going to be green, because orange is...
Fun fact. Green, Catholic, orange, Protestant, white, peace. So if you ever wondered what the Ireland flag means, that's what it means. Green for Catholics, white for peace, and then orange for Protestants, and then that's what the green, white, and orange flag means.
Protestant colors, and green is Catholic colors. I mean, this goes all the way back to the Glorious Revolution, and we're still talking about hillbillies. Hillbillies are...
So there you go, the hillbillies. I always thought like the hillbillies was like just like an American thing. I didn't realize there was like an Ulster Scots connection to that. Did you? So basically what this guy's saying, so this was What History on TikTok. I'm going to like that because, you know, I'm talking about it. And that got me thinking, The Simpsons. So you have, what's the guy in that? Cletus? Is that what his name is? Cletus? He's like a hillbilly, isn't he? Turns out, Cletus is a loyalist. He's a loyalist from Northern Ireland, from Ulster. He's an Ulster man. Hey, Brandine, give me my sash. Hey, Brandine, bring my flute. I got to go marching through Springfield. It's the 12th of July. Turns out Cletus is a Protestant. Did you know that? Do you know actually the Simpsons are Protestants, apart from Lisa? Because you have Reverend Lovejoy, don't you? Reverend's like a Protestant thing. You don't have a Catholic reverend. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. And the only reason I know that is because the Reverend Ian Paisley. Ian Paisley! Never! But there you go. Cletus is a hillbilly, and hillbillies are Protestants. There you go. I'm surprised, like, there's no nickname flying around in Northern Ireland. Like, oh, he's a dirty little orange hillbilly. After this episode, that's probably going to happen, that, isn't it? But hey, who knows? Right, so what else? I bought myself a little sign, on-air sign. I thought that would be pretty cool to put in the office, the studio. But when I turn it on, look how bright it is. You can't even see it. So it looks better with it off. So I'm going to take the batteries out of that and put it back into my VR headset, because that's what I took the batteries out of, the what do you call them, the handle things. But there you go. Turns out the hillbillies are loyalists. What else have I been up to? Well, I only did this podcast the other day, so I haven't really done anything since then. Just that SMG 60th anniversary I did. So, yeah, there we go. What are we on? 14 and a half minutes. Let's get stuck into the topic, shall we? Life without a mobile phone. I'm getting quicker at these buttons, aren't I? Getting better at it. Thank you very much. Now, I'm one of them generation people who actually lived without a mobile phone. Believe it or not. Whenever mobile phones started coming out, that's whenever I was starting my adolescence, shall we say. My first ever phone I had was a Nokia 5110. So if anybody knows what a Nokia 5110 is, that was my first phone. It's like, when I was a kid, it was like a massive brick. But I actually bought one for my office. So I actually have one in my office, and I use it for a work phone. So if anybody rings my business, U-Tunes, and like wants to book me or anything like that, and they ring me, my Nokia 5110 rings, and I pick it up. Hello? Yeah, we'd like to book you and all this kind of stuff. And then, like, if there's a company that want to book me, they're like, well, we'll send you a link to this number and fill out the form. And I'm like, you can't send it to this number. You'll have to send it to a different one. Why? The phone doesn't have internet. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's a Nokia 5110. It's got Snake, but it hasn't got internet. And then you could hear them giggling. What? This guy can't afford an iPhone or something? I'm like, no. I've actually got two. I've got two iPhones. It's just, I love everything nostalgic. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because I haven't been using it for a while. I might actually bring it here. Maybe place it here next to the laptop or something. But it's super cool. I mean, you charge that thing once and it lasts like all week. I have to charge this iPhone up every day. Like sometimes twice a day. That Nokia 5110 once a week. So that was my first ever phone. And I'll be honest with you, we are the generation, right? I don't even know, Gen Zs or whatever you call them, right? But I was born in the 80s, mid-80s. So whatever generation that is, millennials or something, I don't know. So I'm from that area. I'm from that era. Had a stroke there. I'm from that era. Why can't I say that? Where mobile phones, like, at the beginning, like, when I was a kid, there was no mobile phones, basically, right? I didn't have one. All my friends didn't have one. What did we do? We went out and played. That's what we did. If we were going around for a meal somewhere, like at a restaurant or something like that, we were, like, colouring in stuff on, like, a sheet of paper or something like that. We did not have mobile phones. See, nowadays, you go to a restaurant and there's just kids just there on their phone. And, like, it's a family day out and you're letting your kids just sit there on their phone. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad. But that's just the way the generations are, isn't it? There's a thing somebody said, you can't blame children for the advancements of technology. So it's not, everyone blames the kids. Oh, the kids are always on their phones these days, and you know, oh, the kids these days they're always on their phone. They never engage with anybody. It's not the kids' fault. It's just the way technology's grown. It's technology's fault. Or if anything, it's the parents' fault. Like, don't let your kid go on the phone. You know what I mean? If you're going out for a meal, or, you know, if you're going to an event, I don't know, like a circus or something, you don't want your kid just sitting there on a phone, you know, looking at. No. Back in my day, we didn't have that. If we were having a meal or anything, we would communicate with each other. We would talk. Everybody can relate to this, I think. Where was I going with this? So my first ever phone was a Nokia 5110. Now, we were the generation before mobile phones came out, right? So we were out playing and all this kind of stuff. And nowadays, I think it's an addiction. There's so much stuff on a phone. It's such an addiction that you can't put the phone down. You know, TikToks, all this kind of stuff. But even whenever I had that Nokia 5110, you had Snake on there. You had a couple of other games. But back then, I couldn't even put that down. I was like looking for a reason to have it in my hand and to go on it. So I was like, did I get any text messages? Or what I used to do was draw text messages. Do you remember that? So you would like do a comma and then another comma and then like exclamation marks and all this, and you would actually be able to draw a picture on a text and save it and then send it to people. I could actually draw. I'm not even lying to you here. Where's my censor button? I'm not even button. I'm not even lying to you, right? I can draw. I can get a Nokia 5110 and I can draw a penis on it. I could draw a penis and then I could send that to somebody. I could draw a woman with her legs open, and for her, you use the $sign. So you do like, you do like the little lines, whatever they're called, hyphens. So you do like you'll do like hyphens on a line, and then like a comma and a full stop. So the commas would be like her waist, the full stop would be her belly button, and then you do like hyphens, and then you do a space, and then you do hyphens again, and then you do like the $sign in the middle where her, I can't even myself, where her hoo-hoo is, and it looks like a woman with her legs open. Yeah. So try it. I mean, I say I can do it on the Nokia 5110, but I could probably do it on this as well. In fact, I could do it on here. I could send the missus a picture now with a penis, basically. But that's what I used to do with the Nokia, but I couldn't put it down. Even then, like, I think when did I get it? I must have been about 14. I think 14 or 13 I was whenever I got my first ever phone. And I remember bringing it into school. Wow, my throat. I remember bringing it into school, and I was like sitting in art class, and I would have like the phone underneath the desk so the teacher couldn't see, and I was sitting playing Snake. Or I was sitting on the bus on the way to school playing Snake. So even then, like, even if you don't have that much on it, like social media or anything like that, it's still like hard to put it down. But before I had that phone, I was like out playing all the time. I was loving life. And I'm glad that I was alive and around before the time where like a phone addiction was a thing. Because my childhood before having that phone was amazing. And if you think about it, all like the older people, older generations and that kind of stuff, they have these, even nowadays, they don't have like the latest iPhone or anything like that. They've got like a flip phone that they got from like Tesco's. As long as I can text you and ring you, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so I think that having it before the phone addiction thing was a good thing, and even to this day, I still try my best to put the phone down. Like the only thing I do now, right, with my phone is I'll check my notifications, I will check my emails, messages, and all this is business related. This has nothing to do with me personally. So I do all that, and then once I've done all that, then I'll put the phone down. I don't scroll. I think once you open TikTok, right, and you scroll that first video to the next one, you're hooked. That's you. You could be there for 2 hours. Instead of like check your notifications and then put it down and then be in the real world. As soon as you are sucked in, you're sucked in. That sounded wrong there, but as soon as you're in there, they've got you. Hook, line, and sinker. So I ban myself from even scrolling one video, because I know if I just scroll one, that's it. I'm cooked. I'm there for ages. And then my head's being filled with all sorts of stuff. I block. Like, I've blocked all the news channels on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, so I don't see any of the news, because one thing I hate is the news. Nothing good comes from the news. Well, what do I care about what the French president is doing over in France? What's it got to do with me? Nothing. Like, there's things that, there's been an earthquake in Hawaii or something like that. I'm like, right, what's it got to do with me? Nothing. And it's all negative stuff, isn't it? Like this latest stuff. Sometimes you can't get away from it all. But, all this latest stuff about the BBC and stuff, like they're being fined or something by Donald Trump or whatever it is. I don't know. But I don't care. What's it got to do with me? So I distance myself from the news. I don't care about what goes on in different countries. It doesn't affect me. So I just block it from my life. So when you go onto my TikTok and you see Because I think you can see your block list, can't you? Like all the people you blocked. See if you go to mine, it'll be like BBC News, ITV News, CBC News. And it's pretty funny because whenever you block all like the local news stations and stuff, TikTok starts giving you like American newses, like CNN or whatever you call it, or CBS or something like that. I don't know. And then I'm like, block. And then it starts giving you like Australian news, like the news in, like the news station in Australia. And I'm like, block. Get the off my For You page, right? I don't want anything to do with the news. I have blocked the news for about 3 years now, I think. And when I say block the news, if the news comes on the radio or something like that, I'll turn it off. If the news comes on the TV, I'll turn it over. Like, I completely block myself from even letting the news come in just a little bit. And I've been doing that for about 3 years. And I can tell you something now. My life has not changed one bit. As opposed to if I was to listen to the news and watch it and stuff. It hasn't affected me. Whatever's been on the news over the last 3 years, let's say, hasn't affected me. All right, the fuel prices went up or something like that. I'm like, fine. You know, that kind of thing. But mentally, like my mind, I couldn't care about what, like, all it is it's just like, they're trying to put thoughts in your head and all this kind of stuff, and I just don't let it happen. And then when you go on social media, once you start flicking through like TikTok and all that kind of stuff, you'll see fake news, or you'll see people like, breaking news, this has happened. But I'm like, I don't care. And then they tried to like it's all scaremongering as well, isn't it? If you think about it, when you scroll on social media and all that kind of stuff, it's like they're trying to influence your mind. I mean, perfect example would be like all these people who are like, you know, I support Israel, I support Palestine. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on over there. I know they're fighting and they've been doing it for a while. I don't even know. Is there peace now? What are we on? 24th of November? Is there peace there? I don't know. Are they still protesting? I don't know. And I'm happy that I don't know. Because that whole thing, right from the very beginning to the, if it is the ending, right from whenever it started to now, it has not affected me personally in my life. I still get up, I still do my emails, I still do everything. And I have no opinion on it. I couldn't care because it's got nothing to do with me. What's Israel and Palestine fighting to get? What's that got to do with me? Do you know what I mean? So that's why I put the phone down and I don't let people's videos influence how I think. I don't let them basically try to make me think like them. I have my own opinions and stuff like that. My own opinion when it comes to Israel and Palestine and Russia and Ukraine and all this kind of stuff, it's got nothing to do with me. Right? A little bit late in the button there. It's got nothing to do with me. There's a famous saying I heard that as long as my food is on the plate and it's in front of me, then I don't care what else happens. And that's exactly my mentality. But the only thing that can change that is this cursed thing, a mobile phone. For me, it's a curse. Like, I don't want to have that in my hand all the time. There's people like just constantly on it. They can't put it down. And it's an addiction, I think. Isn't there like a theory that because they're looking down all the time, like their heads are always down, like they'll just evolve into these creatures, these future humans with like these, you know, like what, Notchback Hunter Dam? Notchback Hunter Dam? The Hunchback of Notre Dame? We're all going to be like that. The Notchback of Hunter Dam. What the hell? Yeah, and then also apparently people's fingers, if you're on your phone all the time, right, and you're watching this or listening to this, look at your baby finger, your pinky finger. And I don't have it. Mine's fine because I always put the phone down. But apparently, like, you have like a sort of some sort of like a groove in your finger now, like an indent, because you're holding your phone all the time. So you're deforming your body. It's mad. But like, What can you do about it? Do what I do. Just put it down. Put it down. I live in the real world, and it's amazing, and I love it. If I go to an event, I don't sit there and record it with my phone or anything like that, or take photos. I watch it. I look at it. There's a famous video. I keep saying famous. There's a well-known video that's going around where that thing in Las Vegas, the sphere, the idea of that sphere thing, if you're there, is for it to be this visual experience that's supposed to leave you, breathtaking, like, scenes and all that kind of. It's meant to, like, immerse you into this video, all that kind of thing, right? But then you're sitting there with your phone, and isn't there like a famous, it's either a famous photo or a famous video of, like, pretty much everybody in that sphere had their phone out. Like, what's the point? What's the point of going? Just watch it, and just watch it in somebody's phone, somebody else's. Somebody's recording it and then uploading it. Just watch that instead of going there. I seen, like, last Halloween, fireworks and stuff. Not last Halloween, the Halloween before. I seen a video of, like, some old lady was watching a firework display, and she was surrounded by people, and all the people, every single one of them had their phone out and they were recording the fireworks. And then she was there resting against this, like, fence thing and looking at it. And you could see the joy in her face going, this is cool. And everybody else was there with their phone out. She was there taking it, at that moment in time. And that's what it's all about, I think. That's what life is about. Isn't it? Not staring through a mobile phone all the time. If I go on holiday, like, or if I have, like, my mum and my sister came over to visit me, right? And we took them out for a day, and we went to Conway Castle. And you could see everybody just walking around taking photographs and stuff like that. I don't even think I took one photograph. I was just immersed in this experience, walking around this massive castle. And by the way, this is pretty funny. That castle was built to keep the Irish out. And somebody said that. I think it was like a tour guide thing. It was like, This castle was built to keep the Irish out, and me, my mum, and my sister were just looked at each other and were like, "That didn't turn out well, did it? There's 3 of us here." I thought that was pretty funny. You had to be there. So I think that in order to have a happy life, do what I do. Don't scroll on social media, right? Watch a movie or something, or a program or something, or go out, walk, have a life, and then block the news. One thing by blocking the news, see, if you block the news, all you're basically doing is blocking politicians. Like, over the last 3 years, politics, I'll be honest with you, I know what Keir Starmer looks like. I don't know what he sounds like. Because I never go on social media. I never see it on the news, and that's the only time you're really going to see him or hear him. But as soon as I see his beady little eyes, like, I'll just quickly flick to it. So I may have heard him talk once or twice, like, but I don't know what he sounds like. I don't know what he sounds like. That's how distant I am away from this digital world. And do you know something? I'm happy the way I am right now. Him being Prime Minister, I know a lot of people don't like him. I have no opinion on him because I don't even know anything about him. I love playing that button today, don't I? But what else? What would it be on? 34 minutes. So, a life without a phone. Could it be done, first of all? Let's say, do you know what I would love to do? I would love to, like, make, like, some sort of a documentary thing where I spend a whole week trying to live my normal life, but without a mobile phone. And I would record it with a mobile phone. I suppose we'll just get a camera. I mean, I'll be allowed to use a laptop. I'll be allowed to use a sat nav. So the laptop I could use for emails. Suppose uploading on social media would be very difficult, like uploading this. So you couldn't do that. Like I couldn't. Well, I suppose I could. Like I could log into Instagram and TikTok and stuff on this, and I'm recording this on the laptop, and then I could just download the videos from the site I'm on right now that's recording this, and then upload it that way. So I don't need a mobile phone. So I could. So could I live without a mobile phone for a week? What would it take to do a documentary like that? You would have to hire somebody, wouldn't you? But then how would you make money from that? You could do it and then send it to Netflix and see if they'll put it on there or something. Somebody should do that. Somebody who likes to make documentaries or something like that, or who is a content creator. Try and do something like that. Oh, this is my life. 7 days without a mobile phone. You'd probably, like, after day 2, you'd be like... But let's say I did it right. Day 1. Well, if I just go all 7 days, what problems would I have? Well, I can't phone anybody, for a start. I do have a house phone, though. So I could phone people. So that doesn't matter. Photographs. Well, I could just get a digital camera, carry that around, and then upload the images onto the laptop. So I don't need a camera. So, and I don't need to upload on social media or anything like that, because I can do it through the laptop. So I don't need social media. I don't flick through social media. So it could all be done. That all could be done through the laptop. I pay with my phone, Apple Pay, that kind of thing. I've got cards, so I could do it that way instead. So I don't need to pay on there. I don't have the fitness app where it tracks you, so I wouldn't need that. Texting. I could text through Facebook through the laptop. What else is there? Play games. I don't play games on the phone, apart from chess. But I could play it on the laptop. Pretty much everything you can do on a mobile phone, you can do on a laptop. But then, so let's say we eliminate all them, right? So what's left? Well, what else do you use your phone for? Listening to music. I mean, I could go back to 2002 or whatever it is and get myself an MP3 player. Do you remember them? So I could download all the music, put it onto that, then I can listen to music that way. Or I can listen to the radio in the car. I hate doing that. So you would need a laptop, and you would need an MP3 player, a sat nav. So I've got a sat nav in the car, so I don't need the phone for that. I suppose if you're away from the home and you need to phone somebody, well, you could just ask someone, because phone calls are free now, aren't they? Unlimited text, unlimited phone calls. So if you really need to use a phone, you could just ask someone. You can't use pay phones anymore because they've all been turned into like mini libraries. So you can't use that. And I think that there's a whole thing now. Are they closing the landlines in 2026? Or sorry, 2027 or 2028? The thing, whatever it is, the landline itself will be cut off, and there will be no more landline phones because everyone's got a mobile phone. It's almost like we're being pushed towards you can't live a life without this. Because once that landline thing goes, how are you going to make a phone call? The only way you can do that is by a mobile phone. So you could ask someone if you could borrow their phone to make a phone call. You could do it that way, couldn't you? What else is there? I think that's it. You've got, the calendar. I use that quite a lot on my phone. But I could just get a calendar here. An actual calendar. And then actually write stuff in. What else have we got? emails. I've done that. Podcasts. Suppose you wouldn't be able to listen to podcasts anymore. But what you could do is come home and watch this on YouTube. So there you go. So you can listen to a podcast, not whenever you want. ChatGPT. Suppose you can't use that anymore. On the go, could you? Google something. You can't just randomly Google something. So if you're, I don't know, wanting to know when the next bus is coming and there's no timetable at the bus stop or something like that, and you're like, well, when's the next bus coming? And you don't know, what's the first thing you're going to do? Google it. So you won't be able to do that. But what you could do is Google it on your laptop before you go. So I think if you did get rid of this mobile phone and was like, do you know what? I'm cutting it from my life. Sell that to somebody. That goes, and you have no more mobile phone. That's it. It's gone. You could still live a life with digital, a Facebook. You could still live a life with Instagram, all that kind of thing. But I suppose you can't do. Obviously, you can't do it on the go. But you could do it at home at a specific time, like a couple of hours before you go to bed or something. So you can still live a life without a mobile phone. It's just not as handy. But then you're not being tracked. Think about that. Why would you get rid of a phone? Why would you live a life without a mobile phone? For me, I would think it's to do with like personal. What's it? Like it's not personal security. It's like privacy. If you got rid of this mobile phone, they can't track you. I mean, they can track you with the CCTV that's everywhere. Everywhere. I can't find it.
No, wrong one.
Everywhere. That's the wrong one as well. This is the one I put after. Let's try that again, shall we? See if it works. If they can't track you, do you know something? I forgot what to say. Moving on. I need to sort these buttons out, don't I? Yes. Sort it out. They can't track you anymore. So you can't be tracked. So you can't be tracked unless they use the cameras. Oh, that's it. Unless they use the cameras, it's everywhere in the UK. There is nowhere in the UK. Especially in towns and cities, that you're not being watched. Conspiracy. So yes, it's an inconvenience. You don't have Facebook and all this at your disposal whenever you want. And it may be, I'll have to wait to go home and get the laptop. But hey, you got privacy. Nobody knows where you're going. And if you really need to use a mobile phone, just ask someone if you can borrow it. Don't ask anybody in London, because if you ask somebody in London, can I borrow your phone? They're going to scream and run away from you. I wants to steal my phone. Because, hey, phone theft in London? Madness. I seen a video one time. This guy was on them electric scooters, and he was literally just going. He went up like one street, and he went under the curb, just drove up to somebody, went, whoop, thank you very much, I'll have that. Drove up to the next person, whoop, I'll have yours as well. I think he stole about 4 phones within like one street. This guy was just going around nicking them all. Imagine you were walking down that street, he comes up to you and he'd be like, where's your phone? He's like,
where's your phone? Give me your phone.
Mate, I don't have one.
What?
I don't have a mobile phone.
What do you mean? Empty your pockets right now. You're lying to me.
You empty your pockets. And he's like,
where is it? Where's your mobile phone?
Mate, I told you, I don't have one. I live a life of celibacy without a mobile phone.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Everybody has a mobile phone. I've got 57 of them on me right now.
Yeah, well, I've got none.
Do you want to buy a phone?
What do? They steal your phone and then what? They sell it? How much? I suppose, like, if it's an expensive phone, you could probably sell one for, like, I don't know, 250 quid a pop. So this guy stole 4. That's £1,000 he's made within like a minute or two. Jesus. I'm going to buy myself an electric. No wonder that guy's cruising around on an electric scooter that's worth about $5,000. Probably took him like 2 hours to get the funds for that bloody scooter. Am I right? So I think that you could live a life without a mobile phone and still have some sort of digital footprint, if you like. It's just not going to be as handy. But think of your privacy. You'd be nobody. Like even I do have a phone, right? But like I said, I don't go onto it and stuff. When it comes to social media, I have a personal Facebook account, and the only reason I have that is because I've got 2 pages, like business pages. This one and the YouTunes one. And I think I haven't looked into it that much, but I think that you have to have a personal Facebook account in order to have pages. Someone once said to me about you can actually do it through email, so you don't have a personal Facebook account, and then you can just do it through email. Because I never post on my personal Facebook account. I used to ages and ages ago, and it's only like I visited London not long ago. Took a couple of photographs. That my whole trip wasn't about me walking around photographing everything. I was like, right, there you go, photograph taken, right, and that's how some fun. And I posted that on there. But like I don't post anything. I because I want a private life, even though I'm doing TikTok live streams that that everybody can see. I'm doing events that everybody can see. I'm doing this podcast that everybody can see. But yet when I'm not doing them, then I want to be private. But like I don't take photographs. Of like my dinner. Who does that? Takes a photograph of their food before they eat it. I get it if you're at a restaurant, because I've done that. But I mean, I was at the Savoy. Excuse me. When they brought it out, it was like a work of art, and I was like, I have to take a photograph of that. Now, don't know. You can't just go to London and then take photographs of like the Tower of London, that kind of thing, and then upload it without uploading your meal from Savoy. Do you know what I mean? Flexing there. But I wouldn't, if Kirsty made me like scrambled eggs and toast and brought it to me, I'm not going to take a photograph and go, scrambled eggs for toast today, on toast today. What will it be tomorrow? Tune in and find out. Sort your life out. So my personal Facebook, like, I use it to connect with my family. My sister lives in Australia. She's going to come on this podcast. My mum lives in Northern Ireland, all my friends, all that kind of stuff. So they need to contact me. They can just message me on Facebook, or if I need to contact them. Like if I'm going home and I want to meet up with some friends or anything, then I'll text them through Facebook. So that's the only thing that I use that for. But I don't scroll on there. And I think, a lot of people, especially like my family and stuff, they'll do like posts or something, and then the rest of my family's all liking their posts. But I'm not, because I don't see the posts. But I think that they think that I don't care. That's one thing that I hate about not going on like social media and stuff. So if somebody in my family, like a cousin or something, if it's their birthday and I don't know, and then everybody's wishing them a happy birthday, but I don't, they're probably thinking that I don't care about them. I'm like, man, I don't even know it's your birthday. I would need to get like a calendar and write it on there to remind myself, oh, I need to go on Facebook tomorrow to wish my cousin a happy birthday. That's the only way I could do it. I'm not going to be going on Facebook all the time. I'm not going to go on there today. Well, once I upload this, right, on YouTube and stuff like that, I will be uploading clips of this on Stewie Sauce Podcast, Facebook and Instagram. But that's, other than that, like I'm not going to go to my personal one. Like when I go onto my, like I'm hitting Facebook now, right? So Facebook, I'm on Facebook right now. That is not my personal account. That's my business. That's my YouTunes. That's what it's always on. So as soon as I hit the Facebook app button thing, icon, it takes me straight to my business. And then there's 2 notifications there. So I did an event the other day. Someone's like that. Someone's saying, thank you and stuff. So I'll reply to that. But I have to like hit my business page thing, and then I have to click onto my personal account, and there it is. But whenever I need to know my notifications or anything like that, then I'll always be on my business one. So I never get notifications. I never get... And then if you're not posting on your personal Facebook account, then the algorithm is just... It's not going to show you anything. If I went onto my Facebook feed now, right, and flicked through, it probably won't show me stuff that my distant relatives or whatever are doing. So I'm not going to know, and then I'm not going to... What I'm saying, right, if anybody in my family or friends back home, and they're watching this or listening to this, and I never like any of your posts or anything, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I'm not on it. That's the reason. Simple as that. And then I go home, and then people's like, how's things? And are you still speaking to me or what? And I'm like, yeah. They think that I fell out with them. That's the downside about not being on social media all the time. But I think that could you live a life, let's say not just a mobile phone, but completely non-digital? I have a business, right? And then obviously this podcast. If I didn't have this podcast, didn't have a business, and lived back home, and my sister lived back home, then I wouldn't need social media. I would just delete it all. And then I would use a laptop for everything. So, I would just... And then just go out and walk or play football or something. Get a hobby. Then instead of just scrolling, I don't know, where else am I going to go with this? A life without a mobile phone. What's phones going to be like in the future? Elon Musk was like, he said that the future is going to be full of cyborgs, all this kind of stuff. And Elon Musk was like, no, we are already cyborgs. This is an attachment of us that's just detached. So what are the phones going to be like in the future? What do you reckon? I reckon it's going to be like a chip. Some sort of chip thing that's going to be implanted into your head. And then you can see like your vision. Like the Apple Vision Pro thing. Or if you've got I've got that Meta Quest 3 thing. Like, and you have that augmented reality. Is that what it's called? That will be in your eyes. And then you could like literally go, oh, I need to text my mum. And then like, and then, punch the air and then punch the numbers. And then it will call her. I don't know how you would just go through TikTok or something like that. You'd just be like, but it'd be like an augmented reality. Oh, is that possible? What do you reckon? Could be. If not that, then is this just going to be permanently attached to your wrist or something? Like you can get a big chunk of your wrist taken off and then a screen gets replaced inside that. That could be a possibility. So instead of you holding the mobile phone and losing it all the time, you could literally implant it into like the top of your hand or something. What the hell's that called? The top of your hand. So that's the palm. What's that called? I don't even know. What? So your fingers, your thumbs, your wrist, your palm. What's that called? What's the top of the hand called? I'm going to feel like such a twat whenever I'm going to find this out. I did say to myself not to type in, because I watched the last episode and I was like Google searching while I was recording, and it's like not good to listen to or watch. I'm like, I need to spell this, and and I'm like, don't do that again. So I'm not going to Google it. Palm. That's the palm of your hand. What's that called? I'll Google it after this, and then I'll feel like an absolute twat because I'll be like, of course it's called that. Is it the top of your hand? The backhand? The backhand? The back of your hand? Hang on, the back of my hand is my palm. Is that not the front of your hand? The back of your hand? No, that's the... Wow. Melting
My head. It's
almost Christmas. How many weeks is it away? Tomorrow it'll be a month. And I can't bloody wait.
Till it's over.
I'm a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas. I hate it. It's for kids. See, well, that's another thing about distance myself from like social media and TV. By the way, don't even watch television. I've actually been saying to Kirsty about this whole TV license thing where everybody's like, we don't even watch TV anymore. We stream everything. So something like 3 million or 300 million or whatever people have like cancelled their TV license, and I'm thinking to myself, should we do the same? Because I don't flick through. If I put the TV on, it's to watch a movie or to stream like Big Bang Theory or something like that. I don't, because RTV, right? So when you go onto RTV, it brings up the normal TV, so channel 1 and all that kind of stuff. But then we have 2 remotes. If I get the other remote and hit the home button, it turns it into like the streaming part of the TV. So when I turn the TV on, the first button I push is the home one. And then I'll go on to Netflix or I'll go on to something and then watch something. Like, why? I don't even check the TV because there's nothing ever on, is there? There's never anything on. And then all you're doing is watching adverts. So one thing I do as well, like, is I avoid adverts at all costs. I hate adverts. Adverts don't work on me, right? If you're trying to trick me into buying something, I should want to buy it. Don't force me to buy it, right? So I avoid all adverts at all costs. And this time of the year, if you live like I live, like distance yourself and don't watch the news, don't listen to adverts or whatever, it doesn't even feel like Christmas. I'm sure right now if I go downstairs and watch TV for like, I don't know, an hour, it's going to be Christmas ads, and deals and all this kind of stuff. But when you, and that will probably make you feel very Christmassy. Oh, Christmas is nearly here because you're watching adverts all the time. Whereas I'm like, is it a month away? Just feels like a normal day for me. And then it's not until like actual Christmas Day where I go round to like Kirsty's mum's or anything and we're having Brussels sprouts. I never eat Brussels sprouts, but you know, when you see Brussels sprouts in the plate and then Christmassy jumpers and stuff, that's when it feels like Christmas. Not like a month before where like all adverts and stuff and then everybody's trees. And, I'm a proper Scrooge when it comes to Christmas. Get it over and done with. I'm more into Halloween. I love Halloween. That's what I like. Not Christmas. It's for kids, isn't it? I mean, when I was a kid, loved Christmas. Santa. By the way, Santa is not real. Just kidding, of course he's real. He comes every year, doesn't he? On his sleigh. Comes down the chimney. We always say chimney in Belfast. It was only until I came over here, it's chimney. But I still say chimney. But what's he do now if he doesn't come down the chimney? Breaks into your back door? Santa!
FBI, open up!
It's Santa!
FBI, open up!
Right, there we go. Oh, still got a minute left. What do we want to talk about? How are you? How's things with you? Keeping well? Are you looking forward to Christmas? What are you going to do about your phone? You going to put it down more? Are you going to live life more after watching this? Or are you just going to go, screw him? Look at your finger. Is there a massive dent in your finger? What are you going to look like in 10 years' time? You're going to be all hunched. I mean, I'm hunched now, but I'm hunched on this table. Look, no hunch. My fingers are fine. I got loads of memories of me going to places Put your phone down, guys. You don't need it. Your mental health will improve. I am going to check my emails after this, messages. See, once that's done, that phone's getting put down. See ye. Don't even like you. There we go. Put your phone down is what I'm saying. Live a life and have a good Christmas. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't know what that's going to be about. A life with a mobile phone. Huh? Right, see you later. Hello, everybody.